discipline, teamwork, execution, all of those principles that, make a great player have made me an excellent business person. You're the most competitive person I've ever met.
Because you are. I could tell that you are. If you have, a network of people that can make that happen, that goes the extra mile for them. I only saw, you know how many houses I sold in my first year?
13.
1 home.
And I had to fail a lot, right? So I went on 25 listing appointments before I got my first listing.
Wow. As an individual agent, your success is translating into the team now because they're able to also help you sell those communities as well. I mean, you prove yourself. You sold 52 homes outside of the development by yourself. You can do it again.
I had no money, no job. I didn't even have an ID. And when I see people believe in themselves, I give them every tool in the book.
If you're an agent, I'm an agent, and we're in the same market, we're literally competition. We can run each other going to the same listing appointment.
It's the opposite of what everyone else does. Go buy a Mercedes, right?
Yes.
No, I want you to buy a Toyota. And we're going to put that money into a syndication.
Yeah.
And then you're going to use passive income to buy whatever car you want.
That's what's making the difference. And people are noticing. And that's why everybody eventually is going to join. It's just a matter of time. Jessica Nelson, powerhouse agent from Dallas, Texas. I know that you're originally from New Jersey, actually. Successful agent over there. You moved to Dallas, how long ago again?
2020.
2020. And in your first year, you sold 52 homes as a single agent by yourself. And now you got your business to a point where you represent developers. So selling hundreds of luxury properties. You're a single mom to 2 beautiful daughters. I know that they play softball, and you were a softball player in the past. So I want to start with your beginnings. I know that you said that you're originally from New Jersey. Where exactly are you from?
Hoboken.
Hoboken, perfect. And how was life in New Jersey?
Well, how is it different than Texas, or how is it growing up there?
Yeah, growing up in New Jersey.
It was a wonderful place to grow up because you have 4 seasons, you get to, enjoy snow, all those different things. Pandemic is really what caused me to make the move to Texas.
That's a big difference.
It is.
Why Texas?
So I looked at a few different places as potential places to move, right? And what I saw was highways everywhere, right? And homes being built. And I said to myself, this place is growing. And coming from New Jersey, where we're already maxed out, New York, New Jersey, unless you're gonna rehab or redo, there's no more room to go out. That's it.
Yeah.
So we're kind of all up there. I felt like we were all just in this rat race. It didn't always feel positive up there.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of agents in that area understand what I'm talking about because there's just so many people and they're all there for a big dream and they think there's so much money. And then, contrast it with Texas where it's this wide open, endless place that has very few skilled agents to service it.
Gotcha. So you, from a business standpoint, that was why you decided on Texas. You saw the new construction, the fact that it's still a developed state, comparison, with New Jersey, New York, and that's what drove you there.
And I saw the corporations, right? Because where there's jobs, people are going to move.
Yeah.
So I saw how people made good salaries.
So you didn't know anybody in Texas?
No, nobody.
Wow. You just got on a plane with your 2 daughters and just went to Dallas.
We actually drove, but yeah.
You actually drove. Okay, that was
and the 2 dogs, Harry and Brutus.
And the 2 dogs.
Yep.
2 dogs, daughters. Let me head to Texas.
Packed them all in the car.
Wow.
Drove them down.
And I want to get, you sold 52 homes, until this day, I don't know anybody else that sold that many homes in their first year in a new market by yourself. But before we get into that, I want to talk about a little bit of where you come from background-wise. Where are your parents from? New Jersey too?
My mom is originally from California. My dad is from New Jersey. Raised in Jersey, will never leave Jersey.
Really?
Yes. My kids beg him because he's a retired softball coach. He was the head coach at Rutgers.
He was in softball too?
Yeah.
So he was the one that got you into it?
Oh yeah,
nice.
Definitely.
Nice.
I had no choice. I watched my dad play and then I watched him coach, and it was as a little kid, that was my daycare.
Yes.
So eventually I just picked up the ball and started throwing it,
That's cool. That's cool. So that's where you got the love for softball. I know that you were successful in that.
Yeah.
Were you pursuing to be a professional player?
No, that didn't really exist when I was playing. I'm 40 years old, so a lot has changed in that time, right?
Got you.
Like, it's amazing what's available for the girls now. I love to see how our sport has grown and all of the opportunities that exist.
Yeah.
When I was playing, what I took from it is a lot of things: discipline, teamwork, execution, all of those principles that, make a great player.
Yeah.
Have made me an excellent business person. The training was really like a prepping for who I was going to become as a business person.
That's awesome. So based on what you're saying, the training and everything that you got from being a softball player is what got all the discipline and everything you need in business now. And I could see that. What about the competitive? Did that come from that too?
I had a coach tell me, you are the most competitive person I've ever met.
Because you are. I could tell that you are. It's like in any arena with anybody, like you always try to win, which is a good quality,
Yeah. And I want to watch my team win too, right? It's not just about being better or like, hey, look at me, I'm number one. It's about everyone around you should be better by your presence.
That's awesome.
And we should all be rising together.
Yeah.
But I learned that playing that sport because I saw I played with some amazing girls who were better than me. And I saw how their work ethic and their desire, it encouraged all the rest of us.
Yes. And I could see those qualities in you too. That's the beauty of baseball. I mean, I'm Dominican, that. That's what we play. The fact that it's a team sport.
The girl's father's Dominican.
The fact that it's a team sport, but you got to be good at your individual position.
Yes.
It's what complements the actual game. So that's powerful. I know that now your daughters are into it.
Yeah.
The same way that's a beautiful transition that your dad passed that on to you, and then now your girls.
It's so cute to watch them together.
That's awesome. So they actually go out and play together.
Oh yeah, my dad's 70 years old.
Wow.
And he doesn't throw as hard as he used to because he has a bad shoulder. He's 70, and he goes 10 feet away from her, and he throws it 50 miles an hour. It's as hard as he can throw now.
Still,
yeah,
a 70-year-old. That's
150 pitches a day.
Yeah. Okay, so you moved to Dallas with your two daughters, your two dogs by yourself, and you continue doing real estate because I know that you started real estate in New Jersey. So how many homes have you sold before starting in Dallas?
That's a great question. I was not responsible for the economics of my family before I moved. So I didn't have a need to produce. I had potential.
Yeah.
I had some skills because, we had the same coach, Aaron, and he was already teaching me. But I never really applied myself because I didn't have to.
Yeah.
So when you ask me how many total homes I'd sold, I was really a part-time agent up until that time.
Got you. We're talking about that was back
up until 2020.
2019.
Up until 2020.
When do you get your license?
I became licensed. My first state was New Jersey, and that was 2013. 10 years. It's been 10 years.
It's been 10 years. Okay. So
I've been licensed in 4 states: New York, New Jersey, Florida.
Really?
And and Texas.
So do you practice in those states? Do you still practice in New Jersey and stuff?
Well, I was on the sales team of 1000 Museum.
Gotcha.
In Museum Park.
Here in Miami.
In Miami,
okay.
yeah.
And that was back in 2018.
That was 2018 to 2020.
And you helped sell the development completely, right?
Yep. I was the Northeast ambassador. So my job was to sell the development to the other brokers in our area and also to send buyers, looking for second homes, which is generally the target buyer for that type of property.
Gotcha. Would you say that was your introduction to the luxury market? Because you focus more on luxury, right?
Oh my God, I learned so much. I'm very grateful to One Sotheby's here in Miami.
Yeah.
Because they really do understand the luxury market. And they were so willing to help me and teach me. I learned a lot. We did, marketing events at Ferrari of Central Jersey. It's just a whole different experience selling to a high net worth individual.
I imagine. I mean, that's what it's not my target audience, but the more I speak with luxury agents, I could tell that there's a difference. Mm-hmm. People are the same. We just because they're looking for a different price point, we think that people might be different. Approach has to be different.
Yes.
But the people are the same.
Yes.
So what would you say, I'm very curious, what would you say are the main difference for those agents that aspire to be a luxury agent? What would be the difference between working with a $300,000 buyer, seller, and a $2 million, $3 million house?
It's really the same transaction. I mean, it's the same contract. It's the same title process, right? It's all the same.
Yeah.
The client is different. Their needs are different. Their reality is different.
Yeah, it is true.
So I received a masterclass in how to be a luxury agent at a Mom's Coffee 2 years ago.
Wow.
Where I moved to, Highland Park, Texas, is, the highest tax bracket of Dallas. I think the cheapest home you could find there is like 1.2 million.
Wow.
This is...
And in Dallas is, in comparison with other states, it's not bad. It's in prices, so...
That area is generational wealth. Like the Jones family lives there. It's old oil money. One of the other moms in class, she's a realtor. She'll eventually become a builder. I'm working on her.
She's coming. All of them are coming.
Valerie Dillon. Valerie, I'm talking about you.
Shout out to Valerie.
Valerie, you taught me so much that day. So we're all having, it's a bunch of moms, right? Our kids are in the same class and we're having coffee. It was like back to school day. And I know that she's a real estate agent, but she didn't talk to us like real estate agent. She said, she said to the one gal, hey, I heard that they shut down the canals that you live on. What are you going to do with your boat? There's no more, no more motorboats. Mm-hmm. That was a real estate conversation. She's finding out whether or not they want to move because the regulations have changed. Yes. She asked another gal, hey, I heard the news. Are you doing okay?
Wow.
Another mom was served with divorce papers. These are all real estate conversations, but they're handled in a very different way.
That makes total sense.
She's a friend to them.
Yes.
She set up a golf tee time for somebody who really wanted to go to the Dallas Country Club. She had access to it. Dallas Country Club is not something that everyone has access to.
Yeah.
That's her relationships that she's built over time. She knows these people. She cares about these people. She takes time to get to know these people. And when they decide that they need to do something, whether it's, moving for divorce, whatever, they're going to call her because she checks on them.
I've heard that before, which is no different from what we do. We try to be a solution for our clients, right? That what you just said, I've heard it in that type of audience too, in the luxury market, where you become a solution maker and you become like a connector. Because to your point, their problems, their situations are different, right?
Yeah.
They want to get into a specific, clubhouse, like you said, or go to get a last minute reservation to a restaurant. Those things, if you know, if you have, a network of people that can make that happen, that goes the extra mile for them.
When you have unlimited funds, you can buy a lot of things. What they really look for is access. Like exclusivity, like that club that most people can't get into. You know what I'm trying to say? So
yes, 100%.
That is a very big difference with
so
that
it doesn't
crowd.
it doesn't become about the money. There's nothing that you can do necessarily money-wise that can resolve their problem. It's more buying back time. If you're able to save them time, if you're able to connect them with somebody that opens the door for a business opportunity, those are the things that they appreciate and that are valuing, and then getting you access, to your point, to then hire you as their agent. So that's super powerful that you said that. You become a connector in a problem solver in those cases. So 52 homes. You moved to Dallas. Like that number keeps coming back at me because it's like in my first year. I only saw, you know how many houses I sold in my first year?
13?
One home, one house.
Wow.
So you sold 52 in a new market by yourself, still being a mom.
So the real reason why I did it was I needed to learn the skills. Like, yes, I needed money, of course. I was on my own for the first time. It was sink or swim for me. But what I really needed to do was go through all of the obstacles so that there was no objection I couldn't handle, no problem I didn't know what to do with. And I had to fail a lot, right? So I went on 25 listing appointments before I got my first listing.
Wow, 25. So your conversion rate was like very bad at the beginning.
How many people would have subjected themselves to that?
Yes.
They would have quit.
It's like, this doesn't work. Either I'm not good at it, or these people are just...
But I just kept learning. I kept writing down, okay, here's what I did wrong. And I asked for feedback every time. Why did you hire somebody else? And I started to see themes, like what I was doing wrong.
Trends and stuff, yeah.
Yeah. So for me, like, it was a lot of trial and error, but I knew that I had to go through this, like, you know, very intense situation to become who I wanted to become, which is a skilled agent and a leader, and someone that others can depend on.
Wow. So 25 listing appointments before you got your first listing.
Yeah.
Obviously, like, some people only need 5 to decide on quitting on the business. You know, that if they get to the door. Do you ever consider quitting the business at some point?
At that point, no, I had no choice. And I could feel myself getting better. Like, I knew that the practice was going to pay off.
Yeah.
And I also really believe in myself.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. When you say that you didn't have a choice, what does that mean?
So my partner, who was a wealthy individual and taken care of my daughters and I chose to leave the relationship. And I don't have a backup plan. Like, I had to do well.
Got you.
And those girls needed me to do well.
Of course. And your vehicle was real estate. That's why you never look back.
Real estate doesn't discriminate.
Yeah.
How many industries can, you know, an 80-year-old African-American woman make the same amount as a 35-year-old white male?
Yeah.
Not many.
Mm-hmm.
And we can do that.
That's good. It's true.
Yeah.
It is true. And I know a lot of successful agents from different backgrounds, races, like, it's true. It doesn't. Like, it's a vehicle that can allow you to have financial freedom, location freedom, time freedom, and it's possible. Obviously, if you do it the right way, you know? So
that's why we get a coach, right?
Yes, you need a coach. And we have the best coaches.
We do.
So 52, like, how was that first experience once you got your listings then, after 25 listings?
Oh, I was totally overwhelmed.
Really?
I'm sure every new agent goes through this. I'm like, I didn't know. I started to, like, mix up names and addresses, and I was a hot mess. But then my coach was like, you need to hire. Here's what you're going to do. And we put some systems in place, and it became a conveyor belt.
Yeah.
You know, A plus B equals C. And the more I did it, the better I got at it, the more efficient. And it just became transactions, deals.
And then 2020, you mentioned that was the year that you moved.
So I became licensed October 2020. My first full year was like the end of 21.
Okay. So 2020, we all will remember that year. It was during COVID. So that was the year that you saw 52 homes.
Yes.
How did that impact your business? Because I know that you're a big door knocker.
Yeah.
You're not afraid to go out in the sun and knock on doors by yourself.
That's funny you bring that up. Yeah.
So I imagine part of the success of those 52 homes was door knocking.
Oh, yeah. Well, COVID, it's funny you bring it up because I totally forgot, Brian. COVID is what pushed me to start door knocking.
Really?
I didn't understand the power of door knocking until I went out there. And it was really because I was starved for social interaction.
Yeah.
I used to, like, joke around. I was like, oh, door knocking is like a night at the club. Because we didn't have people. Like, we were in our homes by ourselves. So it was so fun to, like, go out there and, like, meet a neighbor. And then they invite you in for a glass of water, or they let, you know, like, people were really...
At least in Texas. We don't know other states.
Yeah. People were just so receptive to it, and then they became very helpful. They started to tell me, you know, I think something's going on over there. I saw the U-Haul. They were pulling stuff out of the house.
Yes.
You might want to go see them.
Wow.
So, like, those connections really did help me to grow my business, and I became a part of the community. So
as far as sources, would you say that you were very diverse as far as, like, farming?
Yeah.
I hear referrals, circle prospecting, nurturing those leads, door knocking, and you're heavy on the phones.
Yes.
So you're very well diverse as far as that. What would you say is your main source or the most successful one for you?
Back then, I started off with just sold. And specifically because of how fast the market was appreciating.
Got you.
people didn't realize how much their homes were worth.
Yeah.
So when you say, oh, you know, your neighbor just got 800,000
Yes.
and they bought their house for 250 5 years ago, they're like, whoa, maybe I should cash in. This is like a lottery ticket.
Yeah.
So that was very effective. That was my first source. And that's an easy conversation. People like to hear about success.
Yeah.
So just sold.
Especially when it comes down to their home value, which is most people's biggest asset.
Absolutely.
So you start targeting those people, and even just having random conversations just to let them know their home value and stuff.
Yeah.
So circle prospecting, all of that. And it's crazy because I noticed in a trend, the fact that one of the reasons why, yes, we know that in the last 3 to 4 years, home value raised nationwide.
Yeah.
But you also move purposely to a state where things, not only as far as home value went up, but in general, it was Texas. It's a great state.
It is.
I've traveled a lot within the U.S. and I always, every time that me and my wife go somewhere, we always like try to compare to where we live and ask ourselves, like, will we ever live here? And other than Florida, to be completely honest, I think Texas will be the only state to live.
Yeah,
there's so many places that you can go visit, but quality of life, Texas is just amazing. Dallas, Houston, like so many places. So you follow the trend. You did your research. You look for a state that is growing.
Yeah.
A lot of corporations are moving to.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine the no income tax, all of that influence in your decision. And it translates of, you know, a lot of business opportunities.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Absolutely.
That is awesome. How is life in Texas? Yourself, personally too.
I love it. You know, it's
what are your
wholesome.
favorites?
You know, I love that I can go see TD Jakes in person every Sunday.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
We are members of the podcast.
We gotta go there. Whenever I go, you gotta take me there.
I'd be so happy
awesome. Wow. Every Sunday.
Yeah. Well, not every Sunday. My daughter plays softball, but like when she's not playing, we go.
That's cool. That's cool because it's a state, you know, very religious state. So obviously, if that's your inclination, that's good.
The sports in Texas are awesome.
Nice.
You know, the middle school fields are like nicer than college fields in Jersey.
So they're big into sports.
Oh yeah, and there's just so much for the kids. I really feel like the family unit is just really celebrated and appreciated, and there's so much more there. Probably because there's land available than there is in the Northeast. My daughter did gymnastics in Hoboken and she grew out of her gym. So she had got to a certain level. If she wanted to keep going, I would have to drive her 2 hours upstate. In Texas, there's like 50 gyms near us that she will never grow out of.
Wow.
She does cheer athletics in Plano now.
That's awesome. That's awesome. She's also, you know, I got to meet at least one of them, and you could tell that you're an intentional mother.
Absolutely.
You know, one thing is just being a mother or a parent. Another thing, I at least describe it that way, being intentional. Intentional is try to be present, you know, and pour into them. It was super nice to see the relationship that you have with her. How open you are, like in every conversation, and how smart she is.
Thank you.
That says a lot about the quality of mom that you are, and that's super cool to see.
It's because she's Dominican, right?
Yeah, right? That's part of it too. So it's in her blood. So that's awesome. I'm just curious too, how is business now? And I know that you are working with developers, big hitters. I mean, I would say that as a real estate agent, that's probably one of the highest achievements that we can get.
Thank you.
To get to work with developers.
Yeah.
Those are the multipliers.
Yep.
Those people, they don't give you just one house to sell. It's a whole community.
Whole community.
And you accomplish that as an independent agent. There is a difference.
To be fair, when I transitioned to EXP, all of our partner agents at EXP became a part of the project. So although I don't have a team per se, all of our partner agents have been involved in it and received a lot of opportunity.
That's awesome. And that's the cool thing about, you know, you connecting with the developer and be integrating that to what we're doing with the lead builders and all those partners, that, you know, it creates that culture, that team sport.
Yeah.
You know, what we're talking about,
exactly.
You know, softball, it's the fact that you, as an individual agent, your success is translating into the team now because they're able to also help you sell those communities as well. While you're here right now, they're over there also selling those
Yeah, they're
properties.
crushing it.
And that's super nice. But I was saying is that you're independent. You're also serve regular clients,
Yes.
traditional clients, a homeowner, a regular buyer,
Yeah.
which is powerful too. You're not attached only to the community.
The thing
So-
that happens with builders is they go through ebb and flow. So if you become dependent on that business, you're going to have a drought season.
Yes.
So I've been very intentional with making sure that we have more than one source. Yeah.
That is powerful and that is necessary, because once that community is done, unless they have another project to
Yeah.
come in, if you get comfortable, then it gets tricky. And there's no need. I mean, you prove yourself. You sold 52 homes
Yep.
outside of the development by yourself. You can do it again.
I can.
So, but understanding how the industry works and the fact that you're not dependent on just one business source makes a difference too. And that's what I tell, all the agents that I train or try to pour into. It's like, try to find at least 2 or 3 different sources. Yes, you want to explore one, but have a couple other ones to rely on. Because, there's a lot that influence that we don't control.
Oh, for sure.
So
the market changes.
The market changes.
One day, like foreclosures is going to be a great source for you.
Yeah.
The next day, expireds might be a great source for you. But we can't stay in one place.
Yeah, 100%. That is powerful. That is powerful. I'm curious. You have a lot of achievements. When I was reading to your bio that you share with us with the event that we're going to have in a little bit, I saw something that I didn't know about you, that you are part of a foundation. Tell me a little bit about that.
So I only recently started sharing my story. How I became a single mom is
only if you feel comfortable
when
sharing.
I was pregnant, I ran away in the middle of the night. I had 4 broken ribs. My jaw was broken. When their father found out I was pregnant, he didn't like that I was pregnant. So I waited till he fell asleep and I ran away and I went to a women's shelter.
Wow.
I had no money, no job. I didn't even have an ID. I literally left with the clothes on my back.
Wow.
I convinced back then Uber wasn't a thing. I convinced the taxi to take me and then I just ran out because I didn't have money to pay him.
Wow.
But I knew I needed to leave.
Yeah.
And the first 48 hours of a woman's life, or men too, when they leave their abuser, is the most likely to be killed by their abuser.
Wow.
The statistics are very high, actually, because an abuser then becomes enraged and they look to take it out on the partner, teach them a lesson. And sometimes they don't mean to kill their partner. It's they just take it too far.
Yeah.
Strangling is actually like a very common.
Wow.
It's a very common way that people who are in domestically violent situations pass. So I created this foundation and I really want to grow it and pay more attention to it. It's basically people who can be armed. So in New Jersey, it's a retired police officer, retired military, you can carry an arm. And I paired them with a woman who had just left her abuser to protect her. And it was called my bodyguard.
Wow.
So for the first 48 hours, an armed guard would stay with a woman who left her abuser.
That is awesome. I mean, I can only imagine what you can go through in those 48 hours, the level of fear. So having somebody that, physically can protect you and also you can rely emotionally for that period of time, that's awesome.
Yep.
That is awesome that you're doing that. And thank you so much for sharing your story. I know that it could be of a lot of inspiration, and I encourage you to keep sharing that because it's the only way that you can impact. You never know you're going to be touched, especially if you were in that position, somebody that is watching or hearing you out, that those words can inspire or even reach out and use the resources that you're putting available for those women. So, wow, that is awesome.
Thank you.
I mean, I love you before, but that makes me love you even more now. So thank you so much for sharing. Now, just to wrap it up, I'm very curious, what is next for Jessica Nelson? I know that you've been super successful in real estate.
Yeah.
You are inspiring other agents. You're helping other agents to grow. That is who you are.
Yeah.
Obviously, now hearing your full foundation, your background with the sports, and how that team sport actually help you to build the discipline to help other agents. What is next for you? Where do you see yourself in the next 5 to 10 years with what you're doing now, what you're building, and everybody else that is joining you?
Yeah. So thank you for asking me that question. I'm really excited about a few things right now. I see a big need for agents to understand that we're not supposed to be constantly on a hamster wheel. A lot of agents, I'm talking to you, you make a lot of money, you spend even more. And at a certain point in your life, like at my age, I'm 40, you look back and you go, where has it gone? What do I have? And if you were a corporate person, you would have a pension, you would have some sort of retirement. So right now I'm big on teaching financial literacy and also helping agents create by syndication.
Yeah.
So what is a syndication? It's a group of people who raise money together to go buy an apartment building, specifically in this case. So the agents who partner with me, I want to create opportunities for them to have a retirement through multifamily.
Gotcha.
So I encourage them, hey, I know you just made $30,000. You need to take 9 away for Uncle Sam.
Mm-hmm.
I know you need to pay your bills. Try to keep your bills low.
Yeah.
Try your best. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put aside money until you get to 100,000, and then we're going to go buy an apartment building. Now you're going to have monthly cash flow that does not change based on how many deals you're doing as a real estate agent.
Yeah.
It comes from your renters. You're also going to have this asset that continues to go up in value, right? As communities go up in value. So when we do decide to sell it 5-10 years, you get a lot of money back. So that is right now like a very big goal for me. I want to partner with the right agents. So I've noticed a trend in everyone who's doing really well.
Yeah.
They are all, highly motivated people.
Mm-hmm.
And they're also, I don't know what the right word would be. They have the same sink or swim mentality, and they believe in themselves.
Yeah.
And when I see people believe in themselves, I give them every tool in the book. That's kind of rare, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like when you came from a different brokerage, they always keep the information.
Everything to themselves. Because it's like we're competition. If you're an agent, I'm an agent, and we're in the same market, we're literally competition. We can run each other going to the same listing appointment.
I'm the opposite. I got a call yesterday in the bullpen, land listing. The guy was like, yeah, send me over the listing agreement. I'm going to sign it. There's a young man who's partnered with us, the Italian cowboy. He
want to meet the guy.
He wants to do land, right?
Yeah.
He's been telling me I really want to do land. And this guy works so hard, right? He'll door knock, he'll cold call. I said, you know what, Anthony, here's your opportunity. Take the listing.
Yeah.
I didn't ask him for a single thing.
Wow.
How many, offices have you worked for where that's a reality?
None. Yeah. None. And that's what we're doing here and trying to it's like changing narrative in the entire industry. And with this vehicle that we have through EXP, it's what is allowing us to see things differently, and aligning that with your goal of the syndication that is super powerful. Mm-hmm. It's not only like teaching agents how to make now money, but also how to invest and facilitating the tools to invest, to think, long term. Yep. Think on retirement, something that can, stay even before they're gone. Yeah. Which is super powerful.
It's the opposite of what everyone else does. Go buy a Mercedes, right?
Yes.
No, I want you to buy a Toyota. And we're going to put that money into a syndication.
Yeah.
And then you're going to use passive income to buy whatever car you want.
Yes. Yes. It's crazy. And it's either like they tell you, because I've heard that before of the agent saying like, yeah, my previous broker or somebody told me that as soon as I get my check, get a Rolex or get design clothing, this and that. Yeah. If it's not that, they tell you, yeah, reinvest in your business to generate more business, because I need you to generate more business because it's the only way that I make money. Yeah. And they want to keep you there. But the fact that we have a structure.
They want to keep you down.
Yeah.
Just like,
in a box.
Yeah.
It's like, I want to see you grow, but in that box, and that box is always mine.
Yeah.
Kind of like that. So the fact that we have tools and we have access to people with each other, first of all, and also to coaches and people that always pour into us, that they don't see us as competition.
Yeah.
And we're able to collaborate and grow together. That's what's making the difference. And people are noticing, and that's why everybody eventually is going to join. It's just a matter of time.
The right people.
Yes.
We don't want everybody. We
No,
want the
we don't
right
want
people.
everybody. We want people that can align with ourselves, our values, and see the vision where we're going and have integrity.
I love my people. I'd leave my kids with my people.
That's awesome. That is so good. Jessica, it was a pleasure. Thank you so much for the time. It was super nice to getting to know you better, your story, and I know that a lot of people are going to get inspiration from that. So I know that you're in Texas. If anybody knows anybody looking to buy, sell in Texas, or want to reach out to Jessica, she's in Dallas. So make sure to get her, get in touch with her. Have a good day.